Used to be almost everyone smoked pretty much anywhere and everywhere. The number of people smoking continues to drop. So what does that mean for a tobacco company headquartered here in Connecticut? Philip Morris International. And joining me now is Marian Salzman. She is the Vice President of Corporate Citizenship for Philip Morris International. Marian, good to have you here in the program.
Thank you for having me.
So tell me a little bit about your background, first of all.
Okay, so I grew up in the advertising PR world. I was probably best known for my trend spotting skills. Once a year, I would pull out the crystal ball, predict what was going to happen in the next year, and then try to use that to create news and marketing opportunity for my clients. And then in 2017, quite randomly, and I was deeply horrified when I got the call. I got this call from an executive search firm saying, do you want to come and be the Senior Vice President Global Communications for this company? And they kind of wouldn't tell me who the company was. I found out the company was Philip Morris International. I thought, number one, I don't really want to go live in Lausanne, Switzerland, which I went and proceeded to do. I don't smoke cigarettes and never have, and I'm kind of anti-smoking in my own way. So I was like, this is a terrible idea. And then over a 9-month getting to know you, I was like, hang on, I can be empowered with the budgets to get people to quit smoking. I can get empowered with budgets to get people to transition to better products that typically have FDA authorization. And the next thing I knew, there's a moving van, and I was going to Switzerland. And then I was part of the team that chose Connecticut to come back as our global headquarters, which was a big win for the Lamont administration, kind of in the middle, coming to Connecticut, be one of your top taxpayers.
And how old is Philip Morris, the whole company?
Well, Philip Morris International, as you know it, was only created in 2008 when Altria and Philip Morris split up.
Okay,
effectively
that's right.
got divorced.
Okay, yeah.
Philip Morris went back to the rest of the world. Altria stayed here. And then we really only came back into this country as an operating company with the acquisition of Swedish Match.
Okay.
Which is, the acquisition is only about 16 or 17 months ago.
So cigarettes are really the past.
Cigarettes are the past. They still make up probably 60-odd% of our global revenue.
But it goes down every year.
Oh, dramatically. When I joined it, it was 90% was cigarette revenue, 10% was better revenue. Now that really flip-flopped. I mean, the cigarette business is over. My global CEO has said publicly he looks forward to the day cigarettes will be in museums. They belong there.
It's hard for young people to envision what the world was like even 30 years ago.
When I joined an ad agency, the coolest people were smokers. So I was constantly around people who were smoking.
In the office.
Yeah, or in this, eventually, I guess in the mid-90s, they got moved to a separate room in the office.
Yeah, but in restaurants you'd go and people would smoke, they'd smoke in planes, and of course all that's history. So the future of the company right now is smokeless. What does that mean exactly?
Well, it's FDA-authorized products that deliver for you nicotine in a more healthful way. The problem with smoking is the burning. It's combustion. The cigarette is heated to about 600 degrees in order to get that burn that people enjoy. Interesting. And what we've done is spend about $12 billion to develop products that we then put through the FDA authorization. And when they're approved, they come to market. In the case of Zyn, we're waiting for market approvals.
So what is Philip Morris International doing to get people to stop smoking? Because you said that was one of your goals.
Well, we don't even sell cigarettes here. So here we only have our IQOS product we'll be launching, which is our heat not burn product. And then we have Zyn and some of the other nicotine pouch products.
Yeah. And how are sales for those things?
I mean, they're very strong. They're very strong in part because Americans tend to, unfortunately, still be poly users. They smoke cigarettes, they use a vape product, which we don't have. They use a nicotine pouch, and we're hoping they're going to go into heat not burn unless, what we say to everybody is, if you don't smoke, don't start. If you smoke, quit. If you won't quit, change. And then there's better products to change to, including things we don't sell, like nicotine gums and nicotine. There's a whole range of things.
Tell me a little bit about the impact that PMI has here in Connecticut.
So we'll certainly be in the top 10 taxpayers. I think we'll be a little bit higher than that. We've done our first $5 million contribution to the Women's Business Development Council out of Stanford, but serving the whole state. It's $1 million a year over 5 years.
And how many people work at the headquarters?
290 right now, and it'll keep growing, of which about 90 people are new Connecticut residents.
So as you know, the governor is is touting all these new residents who've moved here, and some cities have picked up a few thousand people, actually, you know, and it's not just the Stamford area, but also Waterbury's picked up 4,000, Hartford's grown a lot, West Hartford. Tell me, what's the reaction when you offer someone a job there, when PMI offers someone a job to move to Connecticut? What do they say?
It's super interesting because we have about 3,300 people at the operating center in Lausanne, Switzerland, which is where I was. Lausanne is to Geneva what Stamford is to New York, so it actually isn't a difficult sell. The hardest challenge has been people who live out in New Jersey or out on Long Island who are asked to move from 120 Park to Stamford, even though we're right adjacent to the train station. People who have come out here to live are very happy. Our international colleagues are kind of thrilled. I mean, they kind of scatter from Westchester County, kind of all the way up almost to New Haven, certainly into Ridgefield. Yep. And I think they have no complaints, other than maybe the real estate prices have gotten higher and higher as our own people have moved in. I mean, there certainly is a shortage of private school spots because a lot of the kids that come with our company need IB, so they need the International Baccalaureate. But I think everybody's been very happy.
Yeah, I know some folks who commute from the Hartford area to Stamford every day. And
we have a couple of people coming down from Hartford.
It's not bad. I mean, the quality of life in the capital city, you know, is comparable, and the price is a little bit cheaper than Fairfield County, certainly.
We have, I think, 3 or 4 senior executives who are doing that right now, because we're, you know what, even in a post-COVID environment, we're only back in the office 3 days a week. Yeah. And it gives people a lot of flexibility.
What's the future of the company?
I think the future is smoke-free. The future is moving more and more into the wellness space. We have a range of investments in things that are going to go through the pharmaceutical path at the FDA, and then we're obviously looking at innovations. We're starting to talk to people here in Connecticut about doing more innovation investing, and then we're obviously rolling IQOS, our heat not burn product, out across America.
Marian Salzman from Philip Morris International. We appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
I learned a lot today.
Thank you.
When we come back, Dan Hurley, also Juneteenth and black businesses.